So it's finally here, the first dev server for the Wind of Change. That is such a weird way to go about it. You would think it'd be called Winds of Change, but it's called the Wind of Change. I don't know. I'm not a PR guy. I don't develop this stuff, okay? I'm just a creator here. Now, first things first, before I go ahead and dive into everything in this video, little disclaimer, this is a dev server, which means that everything I'm going to tell you, you will be hearing, you will be seeing, is entirely subject to change. This may not be everything. In fact, this is not everything. There's still a ton of missing vehicles. The Tech Tree A-10's not here. The J8's not here quite yet. A lot of the flight models, a little OP, are broken. So again, as this is a dev server, everything you're seeing here will be subject to change by the time we either check out the second dev server, the live server, and each video for each corresponding vehicle, which will happen for this channel. So as usual, please take everything with a grain of salt. Now, on to the first one, which I'm sure you guys are hyped up for, the American A-10A. Now, if you didn't already notice, this is a premium vehicle. That is right. It's not something I'm really for. Unfortunately, I can't even describe it to you guys in detail because of YouTube stuff, but let's just say I predicted this a little under a year ago, and I said it would be foolish for Gaijin not to bring in any sort of premium vehicle that is for the A-10, and then a counterpart to it, which was the Tech Tree variant, because let's be honest here, those commercials are going to be like, play the A-10 today, just play War Thunder, play the A-10, kill vehicles with 30mm cannon, you know, they're going to be all over the place with them, the PR department. So being able to sell it does make a lot of sense, but what does it really bring to the table when it comes to its premium counterpart? Now, my guess is that this is going to be a weaker flight model, weaker engine, weaker flight model being that it's going to be more easily killable, if that makes sense. Weaker engines, but it does get less payload. But check this out. This is the payload you'll want to play with. Look at that ordnance, man, and it flies really well too with it. You have, well, let's take a look at that really quick. Oop, wrong one. We'll show that after. This loadout, 2 2,000-pound bombs, a GBU-8, 4 500 pounds, AGM-65B, and you get 3 of them, 2 AIM-9Ls, which are not new. These are all-aspect missiles like the R-60, except that they're very slow. Now, they are found in the AH-64A, I think it is, and the Zulu, and they're very, very familiar, and they're kind of terrible. Okay, they're good, they're great, they work, they love flares. I'll tell you that right now. These things just absolutely love the shininess, and you also get 28 Mighty Mouse rockets. Now, normally, actually, preferably, I would say this is a better deal. The AGM-65s, and you get 6 of them. These are fire and forget missiles, but let's talk about the main thing of this vehicle, the BRRRRTs. The 30mm Gauss cannon with ground belts, 102 millimeters of penetration, 73 at 30, 37 at 60. Never mind the 60, 30 and 0. It's where it's at. Just look at that penetration, and you get 1,100. I don't know why I said 15. 1,174 rounds. And trust me, the rate of fire isn't too crazy. This thing has a crap ton of ammo, and it will show in the game. And oh man, you get ballistic computer too, which is very nice. And yeah, that's the A-10. The flight model isn't the best right now. It does die very, very easily, but I would show this, but it only shows steel. It is the bathtub, more or less. It's supposed to be titanium, I think it is, but it's not modeled here correctly in War Thunder, so I'll take this with a grain of salt. Now, up next, the LAV-AD. I don't really know the definition of that or the abbreviation. I know it's the LAV Air Defense. You get several loadouts with this, too. You get either 8 Stinger missiles, which are the FIM-92Ks. They're not the best. They do work, but they're not that great. Generation 2 thermal sights, just for the gunner and the commander, not the driver, sadly. You do get some Hydra rockets, which I personally don't use, as I would prefer to have more air-to-air missiles, as opposed to, yeah, you can have this, you can equip it, and you can have it, but you'll lose some of the missiles. And the minigun, the 25mm minigun, more or less, 91 millimeters of base penetration. You will be shooting on flat on to most vehicles you see, and you will be able to destroy breaches, barrels, tracks, and oh yeah, those light vehicles are going to die easily. Also, 92Ks, 6-kilometer all aspect, which is very nice against low-flying helicopters at significant distances. And it's very fast, too. 104 kilometers an hour, no armor for the most part. So, yeah, keep that in mind when you are bringing out this little bastard of a vehicle. And as for those who play naval, you get the USS Arizona, a really big BB, lots of anti-air for the most part. Okay, maybe not too much anti-air, if at all, to be honest. It's kind of minimal. But you do get a lot of armor. Look at that. to the whole 30 of you who play naval, enjoy your new BB. You also get the Kim Kwai? Kim Kwai? I can't quite say. It's yay, another boat. And for my 4.7 players out there, you do get the B-26 with some good bombs. I mean, it's okay. You get torpedo, couple of 300-pound bombs, 2000s, couple of 1000s and 600s. So 600-pound, that's kind of an unusual one. Never seen these before, but I don't really play much bombers in low tier anyway. So there's that. But anyways, let's go off to the Germans. So first things first, the Germans get the MiG-23 MLA. It's basically an MLD. That's all it is. R-60s, R-13M1s, KH-23Ms, S-24s, a couple of bombs here and there, but it's basically an MLD. Nothing too special, nothing too new. You also do get a ground attack vehicle, the Su-22 UM-3K. That is quite the mouthful, my God, with a lot of loadout. Check this out. You get the ML rockets, you get the 29Ls, you get S-24Bs, you also get R-60s for some dogfighting. Nothing mixed up, unfortunately, so you're going to have to go either ground pounding or air superiority, but at that point, I would bring out the MLD, or the MLA, excuse me, and that's really it, to be honest. Nothing really new. Flares, chaff. I think it does get a radar warning. I don't think it does. So yeah, there's that. But here is the star, at least for my show, the Puma. But it doesn't get its spike missile. I'm kind of sad by that, right? You think it would have. I think it has the mounting for it too, like somewhere around here. But man, I'm kind of sad by that. Now, take this with a grain of salt. 8.3, it's not going to stay there. I'm telling you right now, the 9040B, when it first came in, was at 8.3. That thing is OP as shit, and now it's at 9.0. This thing, same problem. Very good Sable round, 121 at 0, 102 at 30, 70 at 60. This is absurdly good. Generation 2 thermal sights for the commander and the gunner, laser warning receiver and rangefinder. This thing is going up to 9.0. I guarantee it. If not shortly after the patch or before the patch, it will go up there. I could guarantee it. You do get ERA on the side. It's not great. I mean, in truth, if you get shot at by anything in this thing, you're going to die. So name of the game, don't get shot at. Yeah, 170 kilometers an hour. Also, it does have decent reverse speed, I think. Yeah, 30 in reverse. Shooting and scooting is really good. Minus 10 for vertical guidance, plus 45 for elevation. So that's really cool. But anyways, let's go over to the Russians, and thankfully, not much with them. So yeah, this is it. This is all they get. They get the T55 AMD-1. That's right. They get an AMD-powered T55. Okay, not really. But this is basically a T55 AM-1 through and through. Same firepower. It has the same missile. Actually, really quick. Where are you? There you are. Come on. You do get the 9M117 missile, 3-beam 25, BR412D, laser rangefinder, no thermal sights, blah, 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 right? Just basically another T55 AM-1, except that there's a twist to it. This is, I believe, the lowest tiered vehicle to have an active protection system, but not just any, a hard kill active protection system. That is right. Now in War Thunder, APS is here. And there's a lot of vehicles, or not too many, there's a lot of vehicles that will have it, and some that already have it now. Now, you do have about 8 shots, 4 per each, and it only covers about the front side of the vehicle. Never mind that ping, by the way. Someone just followed me on Twitch. Thank you for that. And you do have to reload these in series of 2 on a cap point, which takes just about as long as an SPAA's missiles. So if you guys know that, it's going to take you a very long time to rearm these. It's only really good against missiles. I did test it against HE, Heat FS, AGMs from helicopters, aircraft, etc. And it does very well against ATGMs, but it's kind of a hit or miss. It's the dev server, so I'll take this with a huge grain of salt. So yeah, anyways, off to the British. Now, the British don't need any sort of introduction because they're getting one thing, the Challenger 2 Black Knight. That's right, Generation 2 thermal sights, I think 3 actually, for the gunner, the commander, and you do get a hard kill APS, only 2 shots per each of these, but this thing will stop everything. Helicopter missiles, AGMs, the KH missiles from the MiG-27Ks, it'll stop some frag rounds, and apparently even some 30mm from BMPs, which is kind of a bug, I think, for the most part. But these are absolutely OP. Oh, man. I hope they leave it like that because it makes the British Challenger just so much better. And unfortunately, it is a downgrade, though, because you do lose all your Dorchester. It might get it later on, but no Dorchester armor. Lower plate here is very susceptible to pretty much everything, even low tier. And nothing really new elsewhere. It's the same firepower, L27A1. It has the same mobility for the most part. It is lighter, thankfully, compared to the TES, which is a chunker. And that's really it. Everything else is the same except for the APS and the better thermal sights and a CITV. That's it. So I'll showcase these in their own individual videos a little bit later on during the actual launch week. So yeah, off to the Japanese. Unfortunately, the Japanese only get one thing, and that is the Congo. That's it. Is it Congo? Yeah, that's how you say it, right? Yeah, just another BB. You know, really good firepower. Saps are really good. The AP rounds are really good too. Lots of armor. Oh boy, lots of armor. So to my naval players out there, you guys get to enjoy this, I guess, very soon. So yeah, go crazy. Not much else I can talk about it. There's no armor on the Citadel. There is. Okay, cool. Awesome. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump over to the Chinese. Just a couple of things with the Chinese. One, the ZTZ 88A. This is basically a Type 69, more or less, with a beefier upper front plate, which really won't do too much, I think. I think it's supposed to be composite, but I'm pretty sure it's just a thick plate. It does add a significant amount on top of it, so you will be able to bounce some Sabos, maybe most APDS. I have no idea. I won't really know until I take this out into game, but that is really that for that. It's the same as you find the 69. Very good firepower. Type 83, the APDS or APFSDS. It's a little weird to say, right? Laser rangefinder, proxy round, nothing really new. NVD, nothing special, right? But that's not where things really get interesting for the Chinese. And that is the ZTZ 96A coming in to spice things up. Check this out. This is basically the terms for the Chinese, except that it is the 96A prototype, but it has dazzlers. That's right. It looks like it has a pretty wide FOV too. So you have a premium vehicle with extra armor in the front, which I think is just extra cast, I guess, much like you would find with the Leopards for the most part. You do have composite behind it, FY4 ERA, and you get everything else you would find with the 96. Bad optics, bad mobility for the most part, piss poor reverse speed, ammunition's all over the place, but you do get the 125-I or L, I think it is, the fragmentation round and heat round. So it's pretty much a 96A, just a premium. That's all it is. So I'm sorry to say, if you guys were super excited about this, cool, another premium, use my 3% discount. Anyways, next up, the Italians. Unfortunately, the Italians don't get much love. They only get two things, a ship and the F-104S ASA, which may look like another F-104, right? Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. They've been around for so long. But this bad boy gets two things. One, you don't have an integrated gun, which is a shame, but you do get AIM-9Ls on this aircraft, right? AIM-9Ls. That's interesting, but you get the Aspide 1A air-to-air missiles. These are radar-guided, I believe. They are basically the dogfight ones. 35G maximum overload, 70-kilometer launch range. I mean, no one's going to do that anyway. 25-kilometer lock range. That's nuts. Yeah, just look at those stats. I mean, it's a stat card. Don't ever believe it, but damn. So, I mean, you don't need a turn when the missile can do it for you. Just saying. But yeah, that's it for that, to be honest. So cool. I guess that is kind of like a prelude to what's coming in the very near future, or even in this patch. And you also get the Albatross, which is just a torpedo boat, gunboat. I don't really know what this is, to be honest. I'm very bad with ships, so I do apologize to my naval players out there. You guys enjoy that. Players. I can't English. I'm sorry. I just got done with the stream. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump over to the French, which I'm sorry to say, it's not much with them today. I'm sorry to say, at least in this dev server, the only thing we're going to be getting is a small boy. I mean, Jesus, like, what did you guys do? Did you drop a Leclerc on, I don't know, a Lorraine 40-ton or something? Or what's it called? The, oh man, I can't think of the name for it. Not the AMX 13. There's another one. The Char 25T. I feel like they just dropped a heavy tank on top of this and it squished it. And this is what you get. You do get heat effects in it, which is pretty interesting as a stock round. And it's at 6.7. And it's 80 kilometers an hour, and it goes, what, 20-something in reverse? I'm sorry. I gave it too much credit. 9.2 in reverse. Just, yay. Oh, by the way, your turret doesn't turn all the way. It only turns horizontal guidance 30 degrees. Yeah, just, I don't even know. This thing looks funny. I'll tell you that now. I'm getting it. I'll play it. I'll make a video on it, I promise. But yikes. Anyways, off to the Swedish. The Swedish is kind of an interesting topic right now, or at least Sweden is, because they get a couple of new vehicles. One, the 105, which is a 9.0, really good firepower on this thing. The 90C, which is basically DM33 105, Generation 1 thermal sights paired with those really bad optics. And you do get Blazer ERA, which is a very well-known, a very common type of ERA, which is only good against chemical and not kinetic. So yeah, cool, right? You get thermal wielding and everything for the most part, but that's not where things get very interesting. No, the Swedish helicopters are here, and what better way to start off with the AHS or the AH-64? I don't know which variant this is, but we are getting an Apache for the Swedish lineup. Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. Just, again, I got done with the stream. My voice and my brain's kind of shot right now, so bear with me, okay? But you do get not only AJ-114Bs, but you get RB-74s. That's right, all aspect, 3 kilometer, 6 kilometer rear, which is really neat. But if you want to equip these, you only get 8 AGM-114B Hellfires, or you can use Stinger missiles and get 16. But let's be honest, Stinger missiles and War Thunder, they are outright terrible, and I wouldn't recommend it. So hell yeah, but as always with that, but 9.7 Alouette, you guys know this thing, right? And here's another thing too, 7.7. Really? Well, it's not an Alouette, but you know what I mean. But 7.7? No, this is not going to stay here. I'm telling you, RB-52s, 3.50 kilometer. Nothing can really shoot you if you get into a full down tier. Those mouses are going to suffer. Those 6.7 Tiger 2s are going to meet a relatively modern-ish helicopter. Just, Gaijin, you're killing me here, man. Don't leave this at 7.7. Just for the sake of 6.7 World War II players, don't do it. You also get the HK3, the HKP3C as the starting helicopter right here. Guided missiles, 2 kilometer range, unfortunately, but at 7.7, yeah, if they bring this down anymore, I'll be very upset, because helicopters, man, if you guys think top tier is pretty bad right now, imagine this with no SAM systems, SPA, no radar guided SPA, they can't catch you. Yikes. Anyways, and last but most certainly not least, the star of the whole update, Israel. Okay, I don't have enough space here to be able to pull out all the vehicles, but the Israeli Ground Forces tech tree is finally here. M51, AMX-13, all the vehicles you know, right? M48, but you also get the Magash 2, which is, do I have it here somewhere? I'm pretty sure I got it. No, I don't have it in here somewhere. Give me a second. Let me crew this up really quick. Magash 2, oh, this is pretty much the M48. They're both the M48s. Are they? Hold on. Wait. No. Yeah, they're both M48s. What's the difference? Armor? Firepower? I have no idea. But then you also get Magash 6, the 6A, which are pretty much M60s. If I can go ahead and pull that up really quick. We'll pull out the B. This is basically an M60. No stabilizer. M111 APFS DS. I mean, there's so much to this tree right now I can't really talk about, because there's way too much information, so bear with me, guys. But you do get the Merkava Mark 1 and the Mark 2. But keep in mind, these vehicles are already familiar with us. We know of these because we have them for the American lineups, which is really neat. But yeah, the Mark 1 and the Mark 2, there's really nothing fancy about it, because it's the same as you already know. And the Mark 1, I believe, has thermal sights too, which it does. They're the same, basically. I think the Mark II has better fire, or better mobility, better engine, but I think that's really it, to be honest. So yeah, let's take a look at the SPAA really quick. You do get the Zachlam? I can't even say it, dude. It's this thing right here. Yeah, WASD guided. But check this out. Why is the binos right here in front of the missiles? That's going to hit it. Why? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways. Next up, the Machpets. I know I skipped the 163, which is this one, the Hovet, or Hovet. It's just a 163, but this thing is a buffed up 163 with Stinger missiles. That's right. These are FIM-92 Stinger missiles. They suck. They really do, but it gets them. Right? Just if you're used to your 163, this is the exact same thing with Stingers. That's it. So yeah, that's really it. So let's go ahead and run the last one, shall we? So there you have it. That is the entire first run of the dev server. And please keep in mind, I know I missed a lot. I know there's a bunch of vehicles I probably missed, some features. The J8 wasn't here yet, unfortunately. there was, there's a bunch of things I am missing, and I understand that, okay? But we just took a look at all the big stuff, all the big announced vehicles and unannounced ones that we want to go ahead and talk about. The A10 is probably the star of the show, at least for me, and you can bet your ass I'll be making a video on this thing very, very, very soon when the update drops. So hell yeah, and there's so much content too, which is, man, this is going to be an awesome month for me too. And yeah, so if I did miss something, feel free to drop it down in the description below or in the comment section. Let me know what I missed out on. Educate me, talk to each other, talk about your opinions, etc. And just have a good time talking about this upcoming update. It's nice to see Gaijin finally be done with their whole social media blackout. And they came in guns a-blazing, man. They really did. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to get all this done. And I hope you guys did enjoy everything. I will have another video up for the second dev server when it drops a little bit later next week is my guess. I'm really hoping to cover the J8 and some of the new Israeli top tier vehicles if they do decide to bring in the Mark III and the Mark IV. Oh, dude, Mark IV APS, please bring it. Anyways, if you guys happen to have enjoyed everything, I will be live streaming most of the weekend and of next week as well. If you guys want to check that out, link is down in the description below. If you guys want to support the channel, buy the A10, the whole spiel, 3% off. You get my in-game decal. It supports me with that 3%. Link is down in the description below as per usual. And that's really it. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. And I'll see you not only in the next video or even those streams, but in the dev server itself. Until next time.